here between Time versus Zest. So again, Linux versus Stats will continue off on the second screen. We'll give you guys updates from that. Generally, we do kind of stick to the main series though, just for some better observing, in my personal opinion and stuff, and just because it's a better quality PC, so it actually is able to run the game without lag spikes all the time. So yeah, we'll constantly improve the production setup. That's a bit of a weird scenario because our first series of the day was so quick, and then our second series, you know, took a little while to get going. So we spent a lot of time in Stats Linux, whereas usually we would have jumped in and out a little bit faster. Anyways, the top left Time is our red Chinese Terran player, and both these players are going to get a little bit funky here, as blue player Zest in the bottom right. Well, he's got a pylon across the map, and he has scouted, by the way, and he's seen this barracks. So what's he going to do in a response to this? Maybe a robo facility? Maybe the proxy Stargate? No, it's a robo at home. Okay, maybe just the pylon to warp in aggressive units against this then. A few possibilities, a few different options here so far. I mean, we saw this yesterday when I was casting the BTSL, the WardiTV Star League, where it was Optimus versus Harstom, and Harstom kind of proxy robo to counter this, but didn't actually quite go his way. It wasn't actually quite this build though. This is actually going to be a proxied factory as well. He's trying to get some reactor cyclones out, but losing the reactor means he will be massively slowed down on his cyclone production. And that's going to be nowhere near as high as it should be. And now as the first cyclone pops, it's also immediately going to be in some trouble as well. So as the cyclone comes out here shortly, we are going to be seeing the Zeld and a couple of Stalkers already moving forwards and getting quite a bit of damage done. Our first Cyclone's not having the best of time so far. I mean, it gets taken down as SCVs were coming to repair, but they just weren't in time. So first Cyclone down. This might just be a complete disaster here for Time, to the point where Zest just gets enough units up to kind of counterattack. Second Cyclone goes down. No damage done. Quite literally the best. He just stomps opponents left, right, center. Doesn't think twice about it. Alright, well, let's hope for a little bit of a more entertaining game this time around as we jump back to Zest versus Time. So to the top right-hand side, our red Terran player. This is our Chinese player, Time. And to the bottom left-hand side, it is going to be our blue Protoss player. It is Zest. I'm a Cuxter saying you missed me. Oh, that's nice. I have been around though. I've been casting every day apart from at the weekend. I casted on WardiTV last night. We were live on Tuesday on this channel. I cast on WardiTV on Monday. So I've been live, I've been casting. I've just been a little bit spread out. Took the weekend off because of Nation Wars finals, as well as the obvious reasoning of WCS. Obviously not really worth casting over those. So yeah. It's been a little bit of a slow week. And just as a heads up, guys, this time next week I'm actually not going to be here. I'm going to be gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because I'm going to be going to Switzerland for the weekend with my mum. It's her birthday, and we're going to Switzerland for the weekend. So I'm gone next weekend for a few days. So the stream will be gone Thursday through Sunday. I'll be back on Monday, and I'm going to be back for about a week or so before I actually fly to BTSL in Vancouver. My plan is, now I can't promise you guys everything just yet and 100% know for certain, but in general, I should be able to get a few streams off while I'm away, because I'm actually away I'm going to BTSL in Vancouver, then I'm going to be going to New York for a little bit of a vacation for myself, then I'm going to be going to... Then I go to New York, then I go to Philadelphia to see a few StarCraft friends, and then I go to Austin for WCS. So I'm going to be kind of around and in a few different places. Now, depending on my internet connection, so on, I am hoping to put on some streams. There's definitely some events I want to cast while I'm away. But just a heads up that obviously the streams are not going to be as consistent. They're going to be a little bit off and on. And it is just very much so because I'm kind of taking like a StarCraft trip / a bit of a vacation in between. So it's just going to be a bit of an on and off month, the kind of May. But we're going to cast as much as we can. Just a heads up for you guys. Just so you guys kind of know where I am, just in case you don't see the stream live for a few days in a row or something, because I am on a plane and my internet's bad or something. We're going to try and do as much as we can though. We've definitely got plans to get some events streamed and stuff like that, so it should be pretty fun still. You see this Adept gets a shot off onto the Reaper, and now continue to shade up towards the upper right hand side, and we're just going to be seeing this factory finishing up from Time. He's already added on a second rack, so they're going to go into a fairly fast stim pack here. And that's going to allow him to have this double kind of 2-rack setup. It means it's a 2-1-1, At least that's what it seems to be. So it looks like a starport, a reactor on the factory, and, you know, just going in towards this setup, which really, truly is. He actually built a Widow Mine first. Well, he's going to be going in towards this kind of 2-on-1 where he's going to have a medevac, you know, generally medevac and a reactor, and he actually does cancel the Widow Mine, so... yeah, I wonder if that's just something he saw, or, you know, felt he doesn't need it anymore, or whether he just wanted this initially, he just started the Widow Mine, like, somewhat out of habit, I suppose. So, yeah. Anyways, we are going to be seeing the Adept here from Zest just sat out towards the center. A few Marines split up, and again, if the 2 racks down, Stimpack coming up, this will generally be 16 Marine drop coming across the map very soon. Now, Zest, I think a lot of the 16 Marine drop in TVP is catching your opponent off guard. Like, if you can drop into the main and unload, kind of without being seen, or with the, you know, Protoss units maybe across the map, you can get quite a lot done. But God, if you know, if the Protoss units are able to respond quite quickly, then Zest can clean this up very easily with Blink, etc. Now, we do see Blink coming through. And we do see the third Nexus also coming up as well. The Robo Facility about to finish here. And Stimpack is about to finish up for time as well. A couple more medevacs on the way out as well. And we are just going to be seeing the, again, the continued setup to see where this heads. Just waiting for those medevacs to pop and these units to go across the map. Just as we wait for that, what's up, BitGhost coming in for the Zest is best. Zest is best. 4-month resub. Thank you so much for the 4 months. Appreciate it. Give me some love in the chat for BitGhost. 4-month resub. Thank you very much, mate. What, are you giving up on StarCraft? No! Not giving up on StarCraft at all. IRL stream? Definitely a possibility. I was thinking about IRL streaming a little bit here and there, so definitely a possibility. It depends how good my internet is on when I'm in America as well, so we'll see, we'll see. Anyways, this is getting interesting because the Stalker's counterattacking. There isn't any units here. The medevacs are across the map. Zest can recall if he has the energy, which he will in a moment. He sees this drop coming in. Does he recall the Stalkers? It feels like maybe one of the safer choices. Here we go. He recalls this. More Stalkers coming in from the low ground. He'll start to take this fight. Probes here try and dance around and try and tank some of the damage, but they are taking quite a few shots. Eventually the Stalkers will clean this out, and they'll not actually get the medevacs just yet. He'll blink for one. Don't quite get it, though. 16 Marines go down, but he kills 15 probes. I'd argue that it's a very good trade. The biggest issue is that you maybe lose the Marines on the map, so you lose a bit of the presence that you have with that continued drop, but keeps the medevacs alive, which is definitely the more expensive part of the drop. And 15 probes is pretty serious damage. It puts time into an economic lead, 42 to 39 workers, and the fact he has double mule able to drop down. He's still only on the 3 racks here, so he's actually only up to kind of, you know, not really kind of going in towards a 30C. He's not really going in towards another kind of couple of barracks, so he's not really determined yet just what he wants to do. But with a couple of Liberators already on the way, it kind of feels as though he wants to get very aggressive very quickly, maybe pushing across the map with a couple of libs and winter mines, and just trying to win this off of 2 bases in the near future. So we'll keep our eyes out for this and see just what will happen. See what time can get done off of, again, what was an economic lead for a few moments. He will have hurt Zest quite heavily with this attack. Let's see if it's going to be enough to give him a little bit of something. Now, guys, I'm just going to kind of give you a quick heads up. I can see that we're having a couple of lag spikes on the stream here. It's not the stream, it's the game. And it's because we're on the Korean server, and apparently whatever changed a couple of months ago has made it very weird to connect to Korea. So sometimes you have a little bit of kind of lag spike or a couple of what looks like frame drops. It's straight up just our connection to Korea just being a little bit faulty. So if you do see that, like just there, that's what's going on, and there's not really much we're going to be able to do about it. Just going to give you a heads up on that right away because, believe it or not, I'm pretty sure someone's going to be like, oh, why is the stream lagging? Anyways, if you see Stalkers going forward, going for a Widow Mine, but maybe the Liberators are more kind of to be feared target here. You do see 1-1 upgrades have just finished up from Zest, so he's going to have that to use defensively. Whoops, in a few more Stalkers off to the side. And here he goes. Let's charge in, looking for that friendly fire. A couple of Widow Mines go off on the Stalkers. I think this is a disaster for Zest as time keeps on moving in. The next Liberator goes down, but when you have to pull the probes, that's when you know this isn't going well. And there's enough bio here to realistically just stick around and take this fight. Another Immortal, it goes down very quickly. GG. And Zest is going to drop game number 2. Time is going to even up this series, 1 game apiece. So welcome back to this one, welcome back to the PvT. And let's see what happens. Is tied up 1-1 to the bottom right hand side of the map. Our red Terran player is Time. one of the maybe the rising stars of the Chinese scene in the last year or so. Really has made a name for himself. The Code S appearance, where he actually performed very well. Times one of the Chinese players that definitely came out of the woodwork and actually stuck around. You know, we have a lot of Chinese players. For example, Cyan was a big hit in 2016. And, you know, he dropped off a lot. And yes, he's still around. Yes, he's still doing well. But he's definitely not kind of at that same sort of level as what he was at, where he's, you know, top 2 at the NSL. Was it the NSL? I can't remember what the Neo Star League. I can't remember what that event was. I cast it as well. It was in September of 2016. Anyways, you get my point. He's not, you know, the top Chinese player anymore as he was for a few days. Let's see what, you know, time definitely has kind of held that title for a little bit longer. Top left is Zest, of course. We'll see what he does to try and take the third and final game of this best of 3. And to keep on moving through this tournament, this is a $500 weekly event, which is just absolutely insane. So, really awesome, and no wonder we're seeing such stacked lineups of players coming in and competing for so much money. So Maynard, by the way, thank you so much for the 16 months. I feel as though I might have said that, or I might not have, because I definitely read it already, but thank you so much for the 16 months. Hope you're doing well today, mate. And, yeah, we're in this TVP to see what happens. I'm actually going to throw up the picture-in-picture quickly of that Stats Lenok game, because Lenok is pushing forwards once again, just to quickly show you guys this. The push forwards through the top side of the map, but honestly, Zest is kind of... It feels like Zest Stats has what he needs to hold on. He just hasn't been dropping the storms, and now he's starting to fall apart a little bit because he didn't use the storms for a long time. And his next wave of carriers are a little bit away, so it looks like that might be going to your third and final game of the series, because Lenok is continuing to break through, and I think he's got the momentum where Stats just can't warp in enough units in the right place and actually like build up the numbers. I think he's in a little bit of trouble. Well, meanwhile in this TVP, as there is, Lenok takes game number 2 and ties that series up 1-1. Meanwhile in this TVP then, to kind of focus up on it once again, we do have the Zealot coming across the map, so a little bit of pressure here actually from Zest right away, getting the Zealot out early while expanding. But you know that you don't always commit to. Now the Stalker as well. The Cyclone will definitely be a much bigger part of pushing this back, so you have to pull some SCVs to buy time for that Cyclone. He's eventually going to get the Zealot kill here. Stalker still doing some more damage, pushing up the ramp even. Supply depot will raise though, and that's the end of it. Good defense by time, really minimized his losses here. Didn't even lose that much, honestly. I mean, what did he lose? Like an SCV? That's really not bad for the Zealot, and the fact that Zest chrono boosted units to get these out faster than usual. Factory gun jump onto the reactor here, and that is now going to be a couple more Cyclones on the way up. So actually this turns into a very aggressive setup here for our Terran player. I mean, once you have multiple Cyclones pushing across the map, the damage output is huge in these early stages. It's absolutely huge as the Stalkers continue to push that orbital away, and that is going to land up in the main base. Twilight Council coming down in the main. A fast blink again here from Zest, so staying very true to kind of what he did in the last game as well. We never really got to see his game plan in game number 1. I mean, he still proxied barracks and he just completely shut the entire build down from that point onwards. These Stalkers just aren't doing anything against these initial Cyclones. You can just see they take so much damage every time they try and turn a fight. And okay, they're getting the Cyclone lower, but man, they took themselves pretty low as well. So, you do see the Stalkers continuing up towards the top side, and as they go back home, honestly, it's going to be all about the defense because 2 more Cyclones are about to pop from time. He actually pulled his SCVs forward here to kind of repair the Cyclone rather than pulling the Cyclone back. Perhaps afraid that Zest was going to come back in up the ramp with the Stalkers. A few Marines make their way around the right-hand side. As here we go, 5 Cyclones, a few SCVs with this. This is, again, very committed, very aggressive. A lot of potential here from time. Let's see what he can get done. Zest will hold the high ground a little bit himself. Blink not done yet, but the number of Stalkers is really getting up there. That's 10 Stalkers now, and that's going to be kind of getting towards the point where Cyclones are almost going to get one-shot. So it's one of those very scary positions where a lot of damage will be dealt by the Cyclones, but the Stalkers will deal a lot of damage back, and as they fall back towards a shield battery, the shield battery is able to keep the Stalkers alive a little while longer, although now the Stalker count is getting a lot lower. 2 more Stalkers warping in. Oh my god, a couple of these Cyclones are super low. He gets one of them. That's extremely important here. Warps in the Zealot to the front. Targets another low Cyclone. And he'll go for the same again now. So this is a defense by Zest, but boy, this was not an easy defense. This really was being kind of pushed to the limits. And eventually these Marines do get cleaned up. That is going to be the end of it, but wow, Zest, he took some damage there. You know, he lost a couple of Stalkers, and I'd go as far as to say that that Terran player definitely did what he needed to do with those Cyclones, dealing some damage and buying himself some time to kind of keep on, you know, setting himself up nicely in this current game number 3. An ace match here already today on the stream, which is exciting. Not always. You kind of get to start the day with a 3-game series. Quite often you see a fast 2-1 or something along those lines. What's up, Jimmy Jamjaws coming in for the 17-month resub. What's up, bro? How you doing? 17 months, guys. 17! That's amazing. Thank you so much for the 17 months. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the continued support as always. And there's, we're on a bit of a, not just a sub streak, but like a sub trade one. Like, we're counting upwards. Like, Maynard hits us with 16 months. Jimmy Jamjaws hits us with 17. Who has the 18 months waiting in the pocket? Anyone? Did anyone subscribe 18 months ago for this moment to keep the kind of the trail going? That would be something, wouldn't it? 5 gateways on the way down right now from Zest in the main. With Blink up, obviously, you know, the possibility of a lot of Blink Stalkers on the map is there, but I feel he's actually more so going to be focused on getting some Zealots up and starting to really build up that kind of charge lot force, which will do very well at cleaning up further bio attacks. You can see a salvage on the bunker, and again, a very aggressive 2-base Terran player. No 4th and 5th rack, sure, but also no 3rd command center just yet. He'll take this behind this attack. But for now, it is all about this attack. Coming up towards the upper side of the map and looking to see what's going on. Looking to see what he can do here, as we are going to be seeing the bio forces going to be pushing in. And there's the sim up the ramp, so no force field. In fact, the force field does come down, but late. Charge isn't done just yet. Nor is +1/+1. And so, okay, there's charge now done. Apologies. So charge is here. The +1/+1 isn't, but it's enough anyway for Zest to be able to push this away. And we are going to be seeing time pulling back once again. So time pulls back, Zest defends, and we are going to see now with 1-1 upgrades this becomes a lot easier for Zest. Another command center coming through here from time, so he gets that set up and ready to go. And we are going to see these 2 medevacs from time just coming off over to the left-hand side. So time coming over to the left as we do see Stalkers walking down the right. Gets both medevacs as he lifts up all the units as well. Big pickoffs here as we're going to be seeing a pylon picked off, but it gives Zest the idea that this army is here and that he's going to have to respond to it. Cybercore might go down. Not the end of the world if you're going to be mostly focused on warping and zealots anyways. It's definitely something you can allow to be down for a couple of warpins, if even that. That's me. Sneezing a little bit. Obviously we just saw those Stalkers coming in and a couple of Widow Mines going off there quite nicely, but the medevac's able to get away off over to the left-hand side, unloading now, and we will see this little squad of units looking to see what's up and looking to see what we can maybe try to get up to here. Going to stim up and work their way through this pylon actually. So pylon will drop. I'm just going to see another Devo of time down to the south side. Again, a few more units of time just gathering together over here. A couple of Liberators also joining up, and we are going to be seeing this entire army just gathering itself up right now, as we are going to be having single Marine stims off over to the left-hand side. Stalks of Zest coming down the left as well. 2 upgrades coming through here from Zest, but I have to say, no +1 armor from time. He's actually adding on a second engineering bay as though he's getting ready to start +2/+2, but again, no +1 armor, so it's going to be +2/+1, which is fine. It's just that he is going to be massively behind, not having started the armor upgrade, which he could have done some time ago, even with the 1 engineering bay. These zealots to counterattack in. A couple of Widow Mines will go, and that'll help out for the most part against this. So that's to the point even where he just backs away. The Liberators are going to be a major part of this fight, and he will lose one of them coming in. Widow Mines will do a lot of zoning as well. These 2 libs in the back and need to come forwards, I feel. Right now, they're just sort of sat there, and Zest is going to come in forwards. He doesn't want to lose too much here. Blinks through the Widow Mines. Oh my god. The Widow Mines do disastrous amounts of damage already. Zest loses a lot in this fight. Eventually, he cleans up. He pushes it away. Just the bio remaining. Obviously, you can blink on that as well, so you can maybe get a few more kills. Ooh, Liberator's show up. They're actually going to kind of continue this fight. I don't like that from time. I feel as though it was a good moment for him to back away and just go home defensively. Because I really thought he was winning this fight. I really thought he was winning this fight. But, or, you know, maybe not winning this fight in particular, but I really felt he did a good amount of damage up here. He killed a lot of units. So, this fell apart quite quickly. We're going to be seeing now. We're just going to be seeing the rocks getting taken down. It kind of buys time a little bit more, quite literally time here, I suppose. So time has a few more moments to survive at the moment. In the meantime, we are just going to be seeing Zest set up with a few more. Stalkers blink up into the main base. Reactor starts to take the first few shots of damage, and it will fall. And we are going to be seeing the reactor on this factory. It's going to get picked off as well, so... Ooh, that blink away is actually going to get a little bit misplaced, and he blinked into the main base, even though he was already in the main base, so... He goes down, and we are going to be seeing a 4th command center building from time here. Supplies 130 to 120, but I just really feel time had other moments in this game which were really that much more powerful for him. I really can't get over that attack on the 3rd base of Zest, where I think he was just so successful. Then he turns and fights mid-map when another stim would have hurt his units, yes, but eventually they get healed back up. And as we see Colossus play coming through now, extended thermal lance finishing in the near future, and a 4th Nexus in the upper right-hand corner of Catalyst. 2 Zealots start to head across the map, one to the right, one to the left. Looks as though Zest is just keeping up this map control, which is kind of phenomenal, by the way. You look at his vision. His pylon's about to go down, but even still, he has a probe here to maybe rebuild one. He's got, you know, Zealot, Observer, a Zealot. He sees everything on the map, apart from maybe this central pathway is the one thing he's lacking on. But that's where his army is generally positioned anyways, so he's already sort of correctly positioned. I mean, Stalkers moving through the middle do that job as well. They get shot off on a Liberator, that's enough to kind of make time think twice, and Zest even turns his Zealots around, realizing he might actually want these for the fight. He has 4 Colossus. How do you actually fight this? How do you actually engage this? I'm not too sure right now for time. It's difficult to fight Colossi without the, you know, Vikings. Liberators can sometimes get the job done, but I wouldn't even say he has that scary a number of Liberators right now. He heads on the 2nd starport. He's sort of in that kind of panic mode where it's like, oh my god, you have Colossus. Let's go. You know, let's ramp up this Viking production, suddenly building 4 at a time, hoping you can maybe hold off until you have your Vikings ready. But Zest is obviously pretty aware that he doesn't want to give the Terran player that time because he's at the very least moving into the middle of the map. I mean, a couple of reasons you can do this, either to maybe take this Nexus here in the center of the map, or to just straight up push, because again, you know your opponent doesn't maybe have an answer to Colossus, and you have 4 of them. Maybe just waiting for the War Prism before you commit. So he does have the +3/+3 upgrades coming through, so Zest, he is going to have a very powerful time in here. He's going to be up +1 attack upgrade, +2 armor upgrades. There's going to be a very low number of Vikings. There is going to be EMPs. And there's so much comes down to kind of the Liberators being able to hold the position, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. I guess extended thermal lance. Stalkers get rid of this first Widowmine Colossus. Now with their red lasers with extended thermal lance, by the way. Just got added in the last patch, the visual update, once they have extended thermal lance, it's a little bit more red. Here we go, Stalkers blink in. The EMPs are very good. Now the Zealots start to filter through. The Planted Fortress will be under some pressure here. And it will go down as Stalkers get rid of the last Liberator. There's just too much in terms of Colossus here. There's no answer to Colossus. A few Ghosts come back into play, but they just go down instantly. And this is just going to be pretty much GG. Zest with the Colossus switch catches time off guard, or off guard enough to take game 3 of this series. There it is. Zest grabs the victory 2-1. Moves through to the